1 in 36 children in the U.S. has autism. That is up from 2018 when 1 in 44 children had it. Doctors usually screen children at 18 and 24 months, but some slip through the cracks. 10 on Your Side's Ashley Knight shows us why so many more adults now want to be tested.
Both of Dina Morris's sons have autism. Her oldest, Daniel, was diagnosed at age 2 and is considered an extreme case. Her other son, Dion, was diagnosed when he was 22.
He's so smart. He was at Virginia Tech for engineering, but the social problems that he had made him stop being able to be around so many people. He basically broke down and stopped going to classes.
Dina got tested alongside Dion to show support, but had suspicions about her own condition. Diagnosed with ADHD as a second grader in the 80s, she felt there was always more. She says her diagnosis was a relief.
When I was younger, I was wrong. You know, yeah, I was supposed to be just like everybody else. So you have to act a certain way and be a certain way. But now I had that, driving factor that there's a reason behind that.
People are looking for something to explain something that's going on in their life.
Dr. Ken Dunham is a psychiatrist with Centera Health and has noticed the change. Diagnosis usually happens before a child turns 1, but Dunham says those with high functionality slip through the cracks and then see symptoms get worse later in life.
Pressures they get, more stressed out people become, and the more likely symptoms are to emerge.
Dina started noticing her OCD symptoms at 28.
We bought a house that had, pine needles galore out back. And I was raking the pine needles. I was obsessed with it. I was outside till 16 hours, and it was still dark outside, and I was still doing it. My hands were bleeding.
Medication has helped, she says, along with therapy. Now, a recent study shows more people being diagnosed with autism as adults. The greatest increase was among those ages 26 to 34 years old, showing a 450% increase over 11 years. The rise has been attributed to a few things, including if the adult has a child who was recently diagnosed.
If you have somebody who's diagnosed with autism in your family, that may trigger people to go, well, maybe this makes sense. Sometimes as a spouse that says, hey, you do that too.
Another reason behind the delayed diagnosis is an increased awareness thanks to social media.
And I think the exposure to social media has really kind of opened people's eyes to, well, maybe this is something that I have that's going on with me.
No matter what triggers your curiosity, though, Dina says she hopes others with questions will get the answers they need.
It was definitely a relief. It was definitely I knew that, but now I can do something about it.
That was Ashley Knight reporting. Doctors say it's better to get tested and know now rather than ignore it or try to hide. You can see more on this study and the symptoms of autism at wavy.com.